Hello, my name is Stephanie Chill, and I work with the Curatorial Department at the Museum of Fine Arts, and especially with our Asian collection. In today's lesson, we'll be looking closely at one of the museum's Japanese highlights, which is a six-paneled folding screen that depicts scenes from the Tale of Genji. The Tale of Genji is a story that's often referred to as the world's oldest novel. It was written by Lady Murasaki Shikibu, who was born around the year 973. She began writing this tale after the turn of the first millennium, and shortly thereafter was called to be a lady-in-waiting at the Heian court. Now, the Heian court had a very different system of rules and codes of conduct to follow. Women, for example, stayed in private quarters and associated with other women of similar rank. They did not very often see men, and when they did, it was men from their immediate family. Another difference of the Heian court was language. Chinese language was the official language for the Heian court, and as a bureaucratic language, it was reserved for men in official business. It was very unbecoming for a lady to know this, but Murasaki did, thanks to her father who taught her Chinese classics. It undoubtedly influenced her own writing and its well-reception at court by all. Now, of the Heian period, Virginia Woolf commented about what life might have been like after she reviewed Arthur Wally's English translation in 1925. She states about this period that life expressed itself chiefly in the intricacies of behavior, in what men said and what women did not quite say. Now, keeping this in mind, let's go ahead and look at the museum's folding screen. This screen was made in the Edo period, and that's about 700 years after Genji was written. This period from about 1615 to 1868 was a peaceful time that allowed for a growing economy and middle class to invest more heavily in the arts. Although we don't know exactly which studio made this particular screen, they followed the traditional conventions of keeping the classical painting style and techniques associated with this visual storytelling of Genji. The billowing clouds here act as a border between the different stories, which are not always in chronological order. We'll begin in the top right quarter. Here we have the scene set with chapter 1. Inside the palace, Genji is being presented to his father, who is the emperor. Now, because Genji's mother is a low-ranking consort with no political support, the emperor by the end of the chapter demotes Genji because it would not have been appropriate for him to inherit the throne. Genji's mother has become known by the name Kiritsubo, which is the title of this chapter. It also references the word tsubo, a garden, which is between buildings like this one. In the Heian court, a high-ranking woman was referred to by a nickname drawn from her position. In the Tale of Genji, the leading ladies and love interests are often referred to by some description, which is often also the chapter in which they appear in the book. The name of the author, Murasaki, is thought to be derived from a character that we'll discuss in just a minute. Next, we'll turn our attention to the bottom right corner. This scene is from chapter 3. It's called Utsusemi, or the cicada shell. To better understand what's happening, it's important to know that Genji's love interest has already rejected him in chapter 2. In chapter 3, he continues to pursue her by having her younger brother sneak him into the woman's pavilion at night. After the women finish a game of Go, Genji tries to slip in to meet Utsusemi. However, she recognizes his fragrance and escapes to another part of the house, leaving Genji to find just her robe left behind. In the morning, he sends her a poem where he likens her robe to the shell of a cicada. In her reply, though full of sadness, Utsusemi again rejects Genji. Conversing in poetry was essential at court. In literature from this time period, we often see poems presented in pairs, as there would have been back and forth in real life. The next scene we'll look at is in the upper left-hand corner. This is from chapter 7, Momiji no ga, or Beneath the Autumn Leaves. Genji and To no Chujo are performing a dance called Blue Sea Waves. Though not seen here, this chapter heavily revolves around the Empress Fujitsubo, who is Genji's stepmother as well as his lover. She is pregnant with Genji's son, though everyone believes it's the emperor's child. This child will eventually take the throne as emperor, though Genji never will be able to. The final scene that we're going to look at is in the bottom left corner of the screen. This is from chapter 9, called Aoi, or Heart to Heart. Aoi is also the name of Genji's lawful wife. In the classical style, the roof has been removed, and what we see is an intimate view of an interior setting. Genji, however, is attending to Murasaki, his love interest, whom he's raising to be the perfect woman. When Aoi dies after childbirth and spirit possession, Genji makes Murasaki his wife, though she can never be his main wife, as her mother was a commoner. Murasaki is considered to be Genji's greatest love in this story. Here he is attending to her hair. The artists who created this folding screen knew their clients would grasp the elusive meanings related to the scenes. The Tale of Genji is a reflection of Murasaki's world, the societal norms that controlled it, and her own subtle critique. Although we cannot apply our understanding of gender or equality to Murasaki's world, her life story and words continue to resonate with us. Her characters are neither fully good or fully bad, and as they struggle with the human experience, they continue to be relevant even now, 1,000 years later. Thank you so much for joining me.